Hi, I'm Dr. Pat Buchanan, and I'm here with a mindful movement break. I've got musicians in mind for this, and I know this movement break will also be of benefit to anyone who uses their arms and their upper body and the head and trunk, their whole selves throughout the day, whether it's sitting playing an instrument or standing playing an instrument or a musical instrument or other types of instruments, be they computers or books or tools. We do so much work in sitting and using our hands. It's helpful to take a movement break. And this movement break is grounded in the Feldenkrais method of somatic education. Felden what? Feldenkrais. Rhymes with Felden nice. All right, so I invite you to take a few minutes with me to pay attention to yourself and notice some of the things you've been doing that may or may not be helpful to you. It may be causing you some pains because you're not being as attentive to your positioning and your posture and your use of yourself as you could be. You might be using movements that may not be as easy and efficient as they could be. So here's an opportunity to pay attention, to notice what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're sensing about yourself as you do these mindful movements. So to begin with, please lace your fingers, and the video encourages you to follow along as well as listen, but I invite you to pay more attention to your words and not so much trying to copy me. I want you to be you, use my words as your guide. The images are here because it's a video, all right? So folding your hands, notice to begin with, which finger is on top, which thumb is on top. For me, I'm starting out with my right on top. And now begin a movement of rolling your hands and your arms, the forearms, as if you were a long axle with wheels at each elbow, at left elbow and right elbow, and an axle in between. So continue this rolling movement. Let your hands come down towards your lap as they drop out of view. That's fine. Continue down towards your lap. And then continue to rolling, bringing your hands and your arms up in front of your chest, in front of your face. You could be looking at your hands. That can help with this movement of bringing the arms overhead. And you can take the arms all the way up, or doing just what is comfortable for you, bringing them above the head, and then rolling and bringing them down below. Continue that movement. And now, as you bring your hands up, and they're overhead, take your hands to the left. Take your hands over to the right. Again, doing the movements within your comfortable range, and notice what parts of yourself are you inviting in to help with this movement. Are you just trying to do it with your shoulders, with your elbows and your hands? Or do you notice maybe you're bending in your ribs as you go left and right? And as I go to my left, I notice the ribs on my left side are coming closer together. The ribs on my right are spreading apart. And that changes as I come over to my right, and my right elbow goes towards the floor, left elbow goes towards the ceiling. My head is just following along. The ribs on my right are folding together. The ribs on my left are spreading apart. Come back. And go ahead and bring the arms down in front of you for a moment. Keep the rolling motion going. And come back up. And now we've gone left and right a few times. Let's see what it's like can you get your hands behind your head? Some can, some can't. That's okay. Just notice how far can you go easily without causing pain. And then back in front. And then above and behind, and back and front. And now, can you go in front, over to the left, behind, over to the right, in front, so that you're circling. And your circles may be small, they may not be very circular. Notice what your circles are like. How much do you have to move your head to be able to get your hands behind your head? Can you find another way? Can you use more of those ribs, lifting and folding? And notice that that movement happens in the front and in the back as well. So the ribs on the back at times are expanding, and at times they're coming closer together. And the same is true on the ribs on the front. They're expanding at times, coming closer together. So the ribs, despite the name we often use of rib cage, can be very flexible and move in multiple directions to help you do this movement, circling the hands around the head. And maybe you notice, if you try not so hard, if you try to do it easy, it actually becomes easier, faster, and without pain. And you can expand, you can play with the speed at which you do this movement as you're comfortable. And then you can come back down and rest and notice. How do you feel after you've taken this mindful movement break? Thanks for joining me. Thanks for paying attention to yourself and taking good care of yourself.